Hey, what's up? This is Damien from Angel Wolf Studios, and I am building a gaming dining table today. I already started on it, and I was recording, and I think the recording, for some reason, corrupted. If I can get any of that footage back, I will rewind and show you that after this, like right now. or that was just an awkward silence and me pointing at my phone. Okay, so let me show you this. Okay, this is the beginning of the frame, right? This is a 4 by 6 area. This area is good enough to play war games like War Machine and Warhammer. I think the person that I'm building this for wants it for just that reason. You could also use it just to make really huge maps out of Dungeon Forge tiles and stuff like that. Okay, let me get done with this, and then I will cut back when I'm done putting the supports on. So I was going to cut to finishing off the frame, but now it's kind of dark outside. So what I decided to do was I'm gluing up the supports, and then later on I'm going to come back and put the screws in to hold them in permanently, and then also off camera. Also off camera, I went ahead and took care of the legs. Usually I double them up, but this time I'm just going to leave them single. I believe it doesn't need to be doubled up to be stable. I just don't want it to be too heavy. Because the larger the table gets, the harder it is to ship it. And I'm already having problems with FedEx as it is. So went ahead and clamped up. I'm thickening these sides. Then it's going to be the post, the foot, or the leg, and then another one to kind of sandwich that in. Then you have the one support in the middle, and then I'm going to put 3 supports on each side of the sides. So these are the ones for the sides. This is the one, 5 for the longer side, and then these are going to be used. And these are going to be used to thicken up the sides. Yeah. And these are the final ones for the side that I'm already working on. Okay, so I'm going to call it a night. On camera, that is. And for the rest of the time, I'm just going to go ahead and finish up the frame as it is now with the supports. And then tomorrow morning, I'll come out here and start working on the outer part of the frame. All right, it's the next morning, and I'm just taking off the clamps from the glue up. One thing I did over the course of the night was I started doing screwing in these side spacers. I call them supports, but they're really spacers for the outside of the frame, which is what I'm going to be working on today. Let me switch the camera. Clamps off. Now, so for that, we have these other boards down here. Six-foot boards, and we have a couple of 8-foot boards as well, which I thought I was short on, but I guess I'm not short on. Because here they are. And then I'm going to attach them to the frame with, glue it up, screw it up. Glue it up, and glue it up, screw it up. I'm not going to screw this up, I swear. Glue it up, and clamp it up and screw it so that it stays. And then once these are done, and that's the base of the frame, that's pretty much done. So the next thing that I need to do is start working on the base, where the playing area is going to go. And then after that, got this 1 by 6, which is actually 3/4 of an inch by 5.5 inches. And so there's going to be a little bit of hangover. Okay, so I'm going to do that, and then we're going to come back. Okay, so now the frame is just about done. Have all of my spacers in, and basically the spacer here is so that I can have a space here to cut out of the 1 by 6s over there, and have a space for a cup holder. Of course, these corner spaces here, these are for the legs. They get attached to this board here. Just wanted to make sure that there was enough here to keep it from wobbling. And this is the outer face that you will see when you're walking up to the table. So now I did have an issue with the corners. Okay, they're not together, and I have like screwed in to the corners before, and they look totally messed up. That's on my personal table. So what I'm doing this time is I'm taking some scrap wood, and I'm going to be laying it in the corner like this and screwing into that instead. Instead of going here across the corner, I'm going to go here on these sides. I'm going to glue it in with some tight bond and try to get some glue into that space right there as well. You can see that space. And then try to clamp it up as best I can. And then, of course, like I said, screw these in. That's going to go on all four corners. Although, like say for example, this corner, not this corner, well, the corner opposite this one doesn't look as bad. Then I'll take these 1 by 6s that I have here, cut them down to size, and using the inside measurement here, because that's the most important measurement on the tables that I make, is the size of the playing area. If you order one of my tables, then one of the main questions that I ask you is, how big do you want the play area to be? Not exactly how big do you want the entire table to be altogether, but more how big you want this area to be. Again, I know I mentioned it before, but this is going to be 4 by 6 and 4 across, 6 long, and that should be, I think that is regulation size for Warhammer and War Machine. I have to check back up, and then if I'm wrong, I'll put it in the description. I already can see that I'm going to need to make a lumber run because of this here. If you look, I have them up against each other. If you notice, I don't have much on tools. Okay, matter of fact, all you can see out here is the table saw that I made, and I don't have a joiner. I don't have a planer or anything like that. That's why I get the wood that's already planed, already has sharp edges. The only thing is, sometimes these boards warp in the store. And the main thing I'm looking for is looking down the edge here which I can see has bent a little, which is not that's not a big deal when it bends like that because they're laying flat, you know. And if they were like to be like say the rim, then I would be concerned about that bend. But this bend between the boards, that's a concern because that's telling me I don't have a straight edge at the moment. And since I don't have a joiner and planer, I can't make that edge straight without losing a lot of material. So I'm going to go home, make another run, probably save this board for something else, this board here, and then just get another one to go over with this one here for the outside rim. Okay, so it's a couple days later. Frame is done completely. I got the cup holder holes already drilled, and I got this bad boy stained. Look at this color. On the top, you see that this is the honey stain, just in case you wanted to get that. And on the sides, that is golden oak. Look at how they contrast with each other. Do you see that? Do you see how beautiful that is? I was going to wait until after I get the cup holders in and the legs in and put the bottom, the playing area in, but I couldn't wait. This is just too beautiful. This also has two coats of polyurethane on here. It is also, the polyurethane is semi-gloss. And I think this is even better than the one that I made for myself. Kind of jealous now. Since I've already done the the frame is done, the legs are done, and the playing area is done. It's just not in here because I keep that. The playing area I always keep inside because of the fleece. I don't want anything getting in it or giving it a chance to get destroyed at all. There's like this bird just sitting there in my yard. What in the world? It's weird. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, this is the topper. This particular topper, the customer had requested that the top be segmented. All right, so I have one part over there. I'm going to be cutting two more parts, and the middle is going to be slightly bigger, and I'll show you later why that's going to be slightly bigger. Okay, so here we are. We're nearing the close of making this table. And just my luck, as soon as I put in the fleece part of the table, it starts to rain. Things wet. I'm gonna have the bottoms in. I'm just going to do a little bit more sanding in the inside the holes. I actually sanded these down by using the hole, wrapping sandpaper around it and attaching it to the drill so that I can get this smooth. Now I need to get some of this part down inside the hole smooth as well, just in case. And then I made sure that these are removable so that they don't get destroyed in transit, because this should be shipping tomorrow if I am lucky. This has a second coat of polyurethane, I am lucky that it actually dried because it started raining last night right after I put it on. So I put the bottom in, then I put the had finished the topper, and I put already had a single coat on everything. Excuse me, and then once I got the topper the way I needed it and put it in, I would put polyurethane over the whole thing, and it's like okay, I'm gonna leave it overnight, and then last night it starts to rain, which sucks. So now I had to bring those inside this morning to let them dry. So they are now dry, and I'm going to bring them out because I have to do the polyurethane on the back side. Because you have to, like when you have a table like this, you have to do polyurethane on both sides. So, so yeah, so that's the table so far. As soon as I get these holes done, I'm gonna start taking some pictures. They're gonna go up on Insta. They're gonna go up on Facebook and Twitter and whatever else. And then I'm packaging it up, taking it apart, patching it up, and sending it off to I believe Massachusetts.